Everyone in the service industry has a story. Crazy customers, wild orders, and WTF moments. Do you want to start a tab? The podcast here to bring you those tales from behind the bar. My name's Carl. I've been a bartender for 13 years and a bar owner for a week and a half.
Look at you.
Look at me.
My name's Riley, and I'm married to a bar owner, and I'm learning that it's different.
It is different. It's been fun so far.
It has been fun so far. You've been a lot busier, which is usually my role.
Right.
So it's interesting to see the
roles reversed.
Yes.
That is exciting. So on this lovely little, oh my God, I'm just brain dead. On this lovely little podcast, we like to read stories about the hospitality industry, talk about them, discuss them, should have been handled differently, was it handled correctly, and then rate that story 1 through 5, 1 being your average story, 5 being a unique situation. And so, yeah, we are also adults that like to enjoy adult beverages, but we are also trying to be more responsible adults. Since it is 10:14 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, we both have to work at 2. We are drinking Gatorade.
Yes.
So we can enjoy some adult beverages, possibly after work.
Possibly.
You're going to come and see me at the wine shop.
No, I'm probably going to come home and go to bed.
That is going to be the story of our lives.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Yes.
So, Riley, would you like to start out?
I would. I have a long story, so just buckle in. And this is one of those stories that I think it's not necessarily there's an asshole, but it just kind of like reminds you why you do your job.
It's always a good reminder to know the why.
Yep. This is from Tales from Your Server from 4 years ago. And it's called So a Bartender Tells a Joke in a Bar the Other Day. I, 24 female, bartended a tiny local bar in a place that's primarily a restaurant over bar. However, it's one of the very few bars in my small town, so day shift attracts every retiree in town, and I meet some awesome folks with fantastic stories and quite a few oddballs. On a day shift last week, the old gent comes in, OG, and immediately asks if I want to see bar tricks. He showed me and the 2 regulars I had at the bar a couple of beer bottle and toothpick tricks that were honestly pretty neat. He keeps it up through till it gets irritating, and eventually the bar clears out and it's just him and I. OG asks me to tell him a joke. I tell him my favorite joke that I actually read on Reddit about the rope walking into a bar. It's in the comments. Y'all, this man went nuts. He loved the joke, laughed for 10 minutes, and made me repeat it 3 times. But wait, there's so much more. He proceeded to ask for a pen and paper and wrote the whole thing down, line by line. His memory was awful as he kept reminding me, so I had to repeat the 10 or so line joke over and over for literally 45 minutes while he wrote it down word for word. Then he rehearsed the joke for another 20 minutes, practicing inflections and facial expressions. At this point, a group of 3 construction guys have come to sit at the bar and can clearly overhear OG right next to them. Eventually, OG asks them if they want to hear a joke, which they have already overheard several times. They say, sure, and OG absolutely butchers the delivery. So he starts over, and it takes him 3 tries. Then he hands the paper to the other guy. You tell me the joke now. The guy half-heartedly tells him, and OG laughs like it's the first time he's heard it. Finally, after theater practice ended, OG wandered out of the bar, leaving me with a 600% tip and some new bar tricks. When he left, the construction guy asked me, and how long has that guy been in here? Implying he must be wasted. I said, he came in like that. Some people are just characters, and it's a huge part of why I stay in the business. During my conversations with OG, he mentioned that the reason he has so many bar tricks and jokes and such a bad memory is due to the fact that he spent several years basically living in bars after the death of his 16-year-old son. He admitted a period of alcoholism, but seemed proud of his ability to go into a bar for just 2 beers and some laughs now. This post is pointless, but I just wanted to share a story about a jolly and strange old man who violently enjoyed a simple joke. Do you want to hear the joke?
Absolutely. Before we go any further.
A rope walks into a bar, sits down, orders a drink. The bartender...
Slow down.
Whoa. A rope walks into a bar, sits down, orders a drink. The bartender says, hey, buddy, we don't serve your kind here. Dejected, the rope leaves. Outside, he ties himself up, unravels, and splits his ends. He walks back into the bar. The bartender stops him and says, hey, aren't you that rope I just sent out of here? To which the rope replies, nope, I'm afraid not.
God damn.
It's so simple, but that's just an adorable little story.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not really a pointless story because to her it's kind of pointless because it's just like,
This was like probably 2 hours of her day.
Right. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I mean, that shit kind of happens all the time. I'd have some regulars that just come in and they either are just looking to just have conversation with someone and talk about the dumbest shit in the world because they have no one else.
Right.
And to imagine like losing your 16-year-old son and then just
going off the deep end, which is understandable.
Right. Exactly. But then realizing how far deep you're into it and then you kind of pull yourself out.
And he was able to pull himself out enough to the point where he just went in and had a good time.
Yeah. Now, I don't think I've ever had anyone give me a 600% tip for just
telling a joke.
sitting there for 2-3 hours repeating the same shit over and over and over again. But I mean, y'all.
His ticket was probably $6.
Right.
If he had 2 beers.
Hey, I'd still take a $36 tip for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're not making anything. There's no one else in the bar.
Right.
But still, I mean, it's some people just look at the dollar amount like, well, still, it's a percentage amount.
Right.
Like, he's not going to tip you $600.
Yeah, but all I was saying is that your tickets are usually a lot higher than that.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Minimum your ticket is what, 12?
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. This is a fun little story because, like, it's stuff like that like, I don't hate my job.
Right. There's nothing about this interaction. Like, am I mildly annoyed right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I also have nothing else to do, and I'm creating a great customer experience.
I don't have to clean because I'm not leaning.
Right.
Bosses, you told me to take care of the customers. I was taking care of him for 3 hours.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I had to repeat this joke so many times.
Mm-hmm. Our cats are being weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's part of the fun of it, you know. Yeah. There's the shitty days, there's the good days, and there's days like this where, like, at the time, like you said, you're feeling annoyed, but you look back the next day like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Right.
What did you say, like the feather thing?
Yeah, it was a feather.
Yeah.
The mild annoyance. Annoyances and problems in your life can be bricks or they can be feathers. That was a feather.
I had a gentleman come in the wine shop the other day. It was, I don't even remember what day. Might have been 4th of July or the day after. No, stay down. Yeah. So it was a group of them and, you know, like an older couple and then a couple younger kids and then a middle-aged woman. The older couple, the husband was very loud and the wife kept saying, you gotta be quiet, you gotta be quiet. And then eventually I could tell there's a mental issue. Not that like you could tell I don't know how to say this without sound like a dick, but you could tell he lived a normal life, but then something happened and like
had a brain injury
or something like that, right? And he just came up talking to me. He used to direct one of the hospitals here in town for like 20-something years and was telling me this story about his knee and whatever it was. And I'm just standing there listening to him, you know, like I wasn't doing anything else.
Right.
And I could see the wife in the background. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, whatever.
This is my job.
You know. And so because he was happy telling me this story about his knee and other doctors and stuff like that. And then one of the young kids, I saw the wife going, I knew she was going to give me a piece of paper explaining, this is my husband, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But the kid took it, brought it to me, and it just said, yeah, my husband developed a serious brain health issue, something like that.
Right.
And he can't really remember short term. He asked me my name 20 times.
Yep.
And like he was sitting at the table and he just started talking really, 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 really loud. And then he goes, what's that bartender's name? And the wife goes, I forget. He's like, no, you know it. You told me what it was. Why don't you want to tell me? She goes, I forgot just like you did, you know? and then she comes up, she goes, so you're going to be glad that once we leave. I go, it's perfectly fine. I go, I had 2 grandparents that had some sort of dementia, Alzheimer's, and I've known other people like this. I go, it's fine.
And also,
trust me.
This is part of my job.
This is, yeah. But he got Easy Steve. It's a lager from one of the breweries here in town. He goes, Carl, this is an excellent beer. Everything was excellent to this guy. He's like, this is excellent. This is an excellent day, you know, and stuff. And it's like, sometimes I wish I could be just like that. Just be happy-go-lucky.
Right.
But I guess the point of the story is I had something similar to where I wasn't annoyed. I was just part
It was
of being.
just a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. but there was only a couple guests in there, so there wasn't like bothering anyone. I think most people could have told anyways that it is what it is. So, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like we all have those days where it's just different interactions. You never know what to expect when you clock in.
When you work with humanity in the hospitality industry, or I mean, really any retail or something of the like, you see all kinds of people, and I would take these kinds of people all day.
Yeah, over drunk, annoying assholes,
demanding. Did you pour me short?
I can't teach you any alcohol. Seems like a you problem then. Seems like you drink a lot of alcohol.
Maybe you should drink less. That's, yeah.
Yep, exactly. So what do you want to rate this story?
It's a solid 2. I think
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a little bit above average. It's also, the whole bit about the 3 hours about telling the same joke. It's a little different, but
right. Well, and also like you have to take time to acknowledge the small days or the small things that make that make your job livable.
Right. Exactly. You can't just like, I got to be in here to make rent today.
Right.
Like can't have that mentality. You have to be able to enjoy the little things.
Right. This bartender was able to identify that she did this man a service today.
And she realized too, she opened up with, I live in a community where a bunch of retirees come in. So you're going to see a lot of different ducks walk in that bar,
People who have stories under their belts.
You're right, and sometimes they're going to be great, sometimes they're going to be okay, and sometimes it's going to be fun.
And she did enough to listen to learn this guy's life story.
And he probably really appreciated it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you have a similar story that you'd like to tell us, we do have a subreddit, Do You Want to Start a Tab? The link is in the description of the podcast you're listening to this on. And also, if you would like to verbally tell us, we do have a phone number, 563-277-0072. You can leave up to a 3-minute voicemail telling us about some crazy incident, or you want us to diagnose a situation that you have going on, or if you want to tell us that we were wrong about a story, definitely let us know. And speaking of diagnose a story, we do have a voicemail today.
Oh, do we?
We do. You have not listened to this yet, correct?
I have not.
Okay.
I don't even know how to check our voicemail.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Hey, this is Brian Flanagan. I'm actually in Jamaica. I took my bartending skills down here. I like to do like a lot of throwing and flair. And, like for instance, if you order a drink, I'll probably take about 5 minutes to make it, but it's going to be awesome because you're going to watch me flipping. But like, taking my talents down here has been amazing. I've been able to clean up house of these rich people that come down to the resorts. But here's my problem. I met this beautiful, beautiful young lady that also works here, and we kind of started this thing. And she doesn't really care about my bartending, but I just love spending time with her. But unfortunately, I was behind the bar, and my buddy dared me that I couldn't pick up this older woman. And so I did my flair, and I did all my stuff, and I picked up this older cougar. And if somebody dares you, you got to go through with it. So of course, I went through with it, and I slept with her, and I ended up kind of hurting my relationship with the girl that I was seeing. So I need your advice. Did I mess up? I really want this girl that I was dating, but at the same time, this rich cougar's got all this money, and all I want to do is flip bottles and do crazy stuff, and she can kind of help me do that, So I don't know. I'm just wondering if I messed up. I'm going to be moving back to New York with my rich cougar here, and I need some advice from you guys. So let me know what you think.
It's a lot to unpack right there.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, first of all, moving to the Bahamas, Caribbeans, to bartend and do your thing. But that's got to be a fun experience, right? You're going to meet a lot of people. It's going to be an entertaining time.
Yeah.
But, you're obviously going to have these connections. Like me, I would probably be horrible. I'd actually probably be great bartending down there because I'm just going to not actually understand that women are flirting with me back and just skip all of it and just be me. But I don't know. Wait,
are you actually answering this question right now? Mm-hmm. That's the plot of the movie Cocktail.
What? No, it's not. Have you
Yes.
seen Cocktail?
Yes.
You're too young to see Cocktail.
You showed me the movie Cocktail.
Oh, fuck. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's Tom Cruise.
Who? Why would Tom Cruise be calling into our hotline?
I don't know. Who called? What's the phone number? Don't say it out loud.
It was blocked. It came from Scientology headquarters.
Long and short, don't cheat.
If you like a girl, be with the girl. Tell your friends to go fuck off if they want you to try to pick up another girl.
Yeah, that's one thing that bothered me about the movie. Why can't you back down from a dare?
Because you're young and your ego's in the way and you're Mr.
Well.
Bartender.
Wow.
I mean, if I was Tom Cruise, I wouldn't back down from anything. Because I'm too short and I can't back down.
Little man syndrome.
So, rating scale. What do we rate that story?
Well, I'm torn
You're torn?
because that's the plot of the movie Cocktail, and it was interesting enough to make a movie about. So, 5. But it's the plot of the movie Cocktail. So somebody called us.
Maybe they enjoyed the movie so much they actually lived it themselves.
Oh, maybe. Then that would be a 5.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've never heard of any situation like that ever happening to anyone.
Because it's not real. It's a movie.
It's definitely a 4.8. Mr. Flanagan, I wish you good luck with all your dreams.
Wasn't his name actually Brian Flanagan in the movie too?
It's crazy. Maybe his parents just really love that movie. Maybe they just really love that movie. You know, like on the 90s show, they named their daughter Layla. Leia. You know?
Sure, whatever.
We do have a sponsor.
Oh, we have a sponsor today.
It's the Pork Tornadoes. They are your girlfriend's favorite band. They'll be playing at a lot of shows here around Iowa. So go check out their website, the Pork Tornadoes, and tell them Carl and Riley sent you.
Yep.
What's my ending?
Don't be a dick. Tip your bartenders and drink responsibly.
Yay.